We are reading a hand of a lady, and her age is 35 years old. So I would try to point out important aspects in her palm. The important aspects that stand out in her palm is in both the hands. This is the left hand, so this is the line of head, and this is the lifelines. And both of these are tied down together, joined together for a very long duration of time. See, whenever both these lines are joined together for a very long duration of time, such people are likely to be extremely cautious, shy, hardworking, and contemplating. So sometimes when we contemplate too much, some opportunities from like we might lose some certain opportunities in our life. So these could be some tendencies that you might be having in your life. Now, it is not losing opportunities may be seen as a negative sign, but I normally say that it is not a negative sign at all, because when you lose opportunities, you are left with fewer opportunities to work upon, and if you just concentrate upon them, you can become the best in your field. See, even very famous people in like something like Steve Jobs, he had both these lines tied down together for a very long duration of time. See, we can't equate everybody to Steve Jobs, but I'm just giving you an overview. And it is said that like if we compare your hand to a story, so there's a hare and tortoise story. The tortoise wins the race ultimately with slow and steady. So same may apply with you. We can't get everything, you can't expect to get everything in the earlier portion of life, but in your case, more things can be expected in the later portion of your life. So in that way, it is a good sign to have. See, some people, what they have is they have a lifeline, something like this, and they have a big gap in the middle. So those people are very rash, outgoing, and never missing out on opportunities. Some people might think that is the best thing to have, but I would say everything can be good depending upon the situations that you are living in. So having this kind of a formation also is seen as a good sign. Now, the quality of your headline, like, and one more thing is there, when both these lines, the head and the lifeline, are joined together, these people are seen to be under the influence of the guardians for a longer duration of time, and they come out of that cocoon at a later stage in their life, in comparison to when both the lines are separate together. This is what can be seen. Now, the quality of the headline is extremely good, very, very straightforward, very long, in comparison to the heart line. When there's a comparison, the headline is much more longer, so the person is likely to be much more headstrong by nature. Mental strength is there. Mental strength does not mean more intelligence. See, headline, normally people would say that headline is the line for intelligence, your memory and all. So it has got nothing to do with the memory part or the intelligence part. It is only and only mental strength. So having a very deep and clear and simple kind of a headline is seen to be a good sign. It is indicative of, in spite of all the troubles that you may face in your life, you would come out very, very strong. See, this portion of the headline, we can't distinguish out here. This is the earlier portion. This is the starting portion of the headline, where I've drawn the circle and the lifeline. So we can't distinguish between where the headline is and where the lifeline is. So it's kind of both joined together, so we can't distinguish. Somewhere out here, you just notice there's a slight curvature kind, and then there's a very simple, the line is going in a very simple kind of a direction. Only this portion, the line, there's a slight kind of a swing. So it's better not to have any swings in the in a particular line. Simple lines are much better. So if we calculate the age when the swing is, this is the line of money, this is the headline. So this intersection out here is age 35 on the money and the headline. This particular portion is age 35. So this portion of the headline is before the age of 35. This is after the age of 35. So the line stabilizes before the age of this is age 35. So the line stabilizes somewhere out here. So this age is going to be approximately, I would say approximately, it would be 28 or so, when the line stabilizes and moves in a very, very particular direction, a simple kind of a direction. That is seen to be a good sign. Now, if we look at the line of money, so this is the line of money, there's a break out here, and then it stabilizes out here, and then it continues. So all of these lines are kind of pointing from the area of Mount of Moon. See, Mount of Moon is the area for foreign countries, foreigners. It is the area for help from male members. And male member could be anybody. It could be father, it could be brother, it could be husband, it could also be a male child, and in foreigners it could be male and female both. So these are just the possibilities I'm telling you. And when the money line originates on the Mount of Moon, it could mean benefits that the person may receive from unknown people, trading activity, and service industry. Anything which is very changeable, the benefits can be received in that particular from that particular direction. But because there's a break out here, see, break is not the best sign to have on the line of money, and this break basically sometimes signify job loss, work loss, business loss. We are not very certain should we call this to be a break, because sometimes what happens is that if this is the lifeline and the branch is moving outward, that is seen as a negative sign. Or if the money line kind of points, I'm just telling you from two different perspectives. If we say that this particular line is either a branch of the lifeline, this is the lifeline, there's a branch of the lifeline, that is bad. And even if we say this is the money line, and money line kind of pointing towards the area of Mars negative, the area for fire, and fire burns, so that is also seen as a negative sign. But things stabilize at this particular point on the money line. So this is a time of stability, and the stability comes before the age of 35. So this portion is before the age of 35, when the stability comes into the person's life. And this age where the stability is there is approximately 30, and then there's a continuity. Yes, I would say that small branch from the area of Mars negative kind of cross over the head and the money line. This is the headline and this is the money line. So there's a crossing over of a line from the area of Mars negative, which is kind of crossing over two lines, the headline and the headline and the money line out here. So small problems can be expected at the age of 35. This is what is seen out here with a slight cut out here. But the quality of the money line remains intact in spite of this cut. So if this cut was with a very strong line, then we would have said more negative. Otherwise, we would not say such negative things can be expected. Now we'll just move on to the left, to the right hand as well. Now the right hand is a little bit different from other hands when we compare it to the other people. Now what is different about this particular hand is that the line of head is very unique out here. This is the headline and this is also the headline. So there's a branch, either we say that there's a branch in the headline, and that is happening at the age of 35. This is the point where it's happening, the intersection of the money line and the headline. This is where the branch is happening. It could be a little bit before the age of 35 also. We can't say that it's purely at the age of 35. So when the headline branches into two, it could mean having two views at the same time. This should not be seen as anything to do with confusion. It is ability to see two sides of the coin at the same time. Normally a branch doesn't appear to be something like this. A branch is something like a person does have a headline out here and there's a branch moving upward or downward. That is seen more of a branch. This portion of the headline after the age of 35 appears to be a kind of a independent kind of another headline that is there. Now when the person has got two headlines means the mental force is immense, mental strength is immense. Now there are two ways of looking at it. One might think that it is a very good sign, and other people may say it may not be the best sign. I'm telling you both ways. The good part is when the headline is very strong, it basically signifies lots of mental strength. The person is unbreakable. But at the same time, when a person has got two headlines, it is indicative of two independent thought processes at the same time. Now, two independent thought processes may not be the best sign to have, because the other person wouldn't be able to understand you. The people who are very close by, they wouldn't be able to understand you. And it would mean that you would be able to portray certain things to certain people and certain other things to other people. So two different people are seeing two different personalities of you. So this is what it is seeing. And sometimes what also happens is that too much of mental strength, like the other people may not like it. Too much of mental strength, the other people, or it could be seen as a different sign that, imagine that there's a lake out here and you throw a small stone in the lake, so there are ripples in the whole lake. So same thing happens if somebody tries to oppose you. You could it would basically affect your mind in that particular way. Like too much of it would create ripples into your mind. So this is what I could say. Now, one more thing is that normally it is said that we should take a look at the left hand for females and right hand for male, but in my case I give importance to both the hands to arrive at the conclusion. I feel that for working women also we should consider the right hand more compared to the left hand. So that is the reason why I'm giving more importance to the right hand in your case as well. So so this major thing is not found in most people's hand. Most people's hand, they would have similar kind of lines as we have seen in the left hand. Now, moving back to the right hand, I won't repeat few things that I've already spoken. Both the head and the lifeline are joined out here at the same time. So more success can be expected at a later stage of your life, and that later stage would be either after the age of 35 or after the age of 44. This is just an approximate. I'm just giving this is just an approximate way of calculating. One or two more things that that can be seen out here is a small line kind of joining into the head or the lifeline out here. It could be any one of them, those, and both, if it joins from the mount of Jupiter, both is seen as a positive sign, because Jupiter is a big planet. Big planet means growth, expansion, honor, respect, position, power in your life. So any line joining in means you're seeking. If it joins the lifeline, it means seeking growth in your life. If it joins the headline, it is in your mind you're seeking growth. So either way, it is seen as a good sign. Although the quality of the headline, this branch joining into out here, is not a very strong kind of a line, but yet because it is there, that's the reason why I've given you the explanation. Now, on the as far as the money line goes in the right hand, this is the money line. There's a break somewhere at the age of 34, 35, and then there's a continuity in the money line at least till the age of 53. When it touches the money line touches the heart line, this is the heart line, this age is 53, and this could also be seen as another money line, which is kind of breaking out here at the age of 46, 47, 48, and then there's a continuity out here. So there appears to be two money lines that are appearing between the age of 35 till the age of 53. So strong finances can be expected during that particular portion of your life, and strong finances do not come purely by only the money line. See, the money line does play a part, but other lines have to be taken into account before arriving at the conclusion. I would add just one more thing out here. When there's a break in the money line, sometimes it could mean job loss, work loss, business loss, the first thing. The second thing could be the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down, more responsibility falls onto your head. And the third thing could be sometimes the personal life can get disturbed due to a break on the money line. So any one of these things can get applied, but beyond that, because there's stability in your money line, so stability can be expected throughout your life. So this is in every aspect, not just finances, but even in the personal life as well can be expected. The books of palmistry basically mention a long sun line. You don't have a long kind of a sun line. This portion is before the age of 35, 35 till the age of 53, and this is 53 and beyond. In your case, we find the quality of the sun line, which is also known as the luck line, which is also known as the name and fame line, which is also known as the career line, only appears somewhere after the age of, at this particular point, a strong line appears only from this particular point. So if this is 53, so around the age of 50 it appears. But when I see it practically, see, most people, they don't have a long sun line, and it is not necessary to have a long sun line to be successful. The reality is that I have seen that if you just have a line somewhere out here, this is a perfect combination. 100% this is a perfect combination. Now you might say, when the book is saying only after the age of 53, so you would be successful only after the age of 53. No, it is not like that. See, we have to apply common sense as well before arriving at the conclusion. See, one line doesn't determine success. You have to realize that every line in your palm can be correlated to money. Money line is not the only line for money. Even your lifeline, your headline, your heart line, your Mercury line, every line can be associated with money. So we should try to look at every line before arriving at the conclusion. In the same way, sun line appearing only after the age of 50 doesn't mean only after the age of 53. The common sense basically says, how can you be successful suddenly after the age of 50? If you have not been doing anything before the age of 50, let's imagine that a person hasn't done anything till the age of 50, and then suddenly, can you expect that person to be successful? No, absolutely not. So probably things would become certainly better after the age of 53, but even this particular line, I would say this is for the whole life and not necessarily only after the age of 53. So this line is sufficient. Many famous people, they don't even have this particular line. So don't be disturbed if you don't have a sun line before out here. So even this particular portion is the best possible line. Now the quality of, now one more line which is very, very important, I value it the most, is the Mercury line. So Mercury line is kind of broken into pieces out here, but the quality of the Mercury line on the mount itself is excellent, super excellent. Mercury line is the line for intelligence. Mercury line is the line for calculation and communication. So mount of Mercury is the area for all the knowledge. It could be written knowledge, it could be verbal, it could be communication of any kind, it could be anything to do with statistics, economics, biology, chemistry, physics, coding, anything and everything is out here. So having a strong, very strong Mercury line means that these people are very good at their skill and their calculations, and because people who are good at their calculation and communication are likely to be successful. So this is one of the best possible signs a person can have. Imagine a situation if you had crisscrossing lines out here. That would automatically mean miscommunication and miscalculation. You don't have that kind of indication. One single line is the best. Some people may have 3, 4, 5 lines. That doesn't mean more success. One line is good enough for your success. Now, as far as the money line out here in the later portion of your life goes, this is the heart line, and above the heart line, this portion is after the age of 53, 54. So there's a V-like portion pointing towards the finger. That is also seen as a good sign. Now whenever we say victory, people assume that it's a V means victory. No, it doesn't mean anything to with English letter word V, but V is considered to be good because it's kind of pointing towards the fingers. And imagine a situation that energy is penetrating the fingers, energy, light or current is penetrating the fingers and entering your life. It enters the palm, it enters your life, and wherever there's a V-like thing, it gets accumulated out here. So this portion becomes a very, very significant portion of your life. It's kind of a net, and imagine a situation that the fishes are coming from this particular portion and they're getting captured out here. So this portion is good portion that can be expected. It's not that the earlier portion is bad, but this portion can be even better in comparison. Now I would kind of end the video out here, and then we would be talking. I would be just talking about 1 or 2 more things out here, and that is the lifeline is out here, and there's a supporting lifeline that is also there. So supporting lifeline, although it's being cut out here to some extent, but even these cuts are very, very weak kind of cuts. So the negativity associated with these horizontal lines are minimized, and having supporting lifeline means it is kind of protecting you from all these negative lines. It is kind of you are traveling in a car and there's a speed breaker out here. This is kind of a positive line, so this acts like a speed breaker before it touches your lifeline. So it's kind of a line that is protecting you from difficult people, difficult situations to bring out as winner. Having a Mars line, which is rare, when it is very strong, it means that fighting spirit that is there within you, and you are able to fight against odds and become a winner. One more slightly small line that one or two most likely important lines that we would be talking about is that this is the line of head, and there's a slight line that is moving upward, pointing towards the area for Mercury. So upward lines from the headline is good. Imagine a situation, the upward area is the area for sky, and this is the lower portion, the earth and gravity. So upward line means upliftment of the mind, so that is good. And a line that is moving upward, pointing towards Mercury, some people say it is a writer's fork. So anything to do with the writing, not everybody becomes a writer, so I would just say upgradation of your knowledge, something to do with that. This particular small branch that you see out here, kind of joining the line of head, so this is the headline pointing towards the area for Jupiter. It takes a person to a higher position in one's life, because Jupiter is for high position and honor and respect. So those things can be expected with this particular line formation. Normally the Jupiter line, the branch out here that I was talking about, it is also present out here. This portion most people don't have. Most people have a branch joining from the Jupiter somewhere in the earlier portion of life, but you are also having at a later portion the age that you are traveling in. Now, one last thing, I value the heart line to be one of the best indicators for success. And heart line normally people would associate with relationship, partnership, your love life. I normally associate with your professional life as well. Having a strong, simple heart line is indicative of a person being able to handle stress and anxiety very well, and they don't get distracted, they don't fall for temptation. People who have a totally broken kind of a heart line, those people are distracted, flirtatious kind, and they are not able to commit themselves completely. Having a simple, straightforward heart line is indicative of a person being able to dedicate themselves. They practice detachment. Detachment doesn't mean they leave everything and go to Himalaya. Detachment only means being in the moment without having expectation of the outcome, what the Bhagavad Gita tells us. So in that way, it is considered to be a good sign. Small branches out here in the earlier portion means love for children, but just notice the quality of the line is simple, straightforward. That is the best. Some people have got too many branches hanging downwards out here from the heart line. Those are total distraction, and that is not best to have. The heart line is also ending somewhere close and on the mount of Saturn. That means the person is materialistic, they value money, they respect money, and they're able to multiply money in their life. So this is one of the best indicators for money related issues. And in both the hands, there are similar kind of indication that the heart line is kind of ending closer to the area of mount of Saturn. The quality of the heart line is much better in the right hand. This is the left hand. There are small branches out there. These are small distractions, but we wouldn't consider this hand. We would be considering the right hand. Now I would just end the video out here. Thanks for watching this video. Bye and take care.